Good morning. This is Carrie Sparks with Pioneer Title, your Arizona title gal. Happy Monday. I hope all the moms out there had a wonderful Mother's Day. But here we go again with another episode with Chris Papaccio over at eMortgage on business development. I'm super excited as we come out of this COVID-19 period in our world and start opening back up in Arizona. And may even go out to a restaurant today. You never know. It would be kind of cool to walk in the door. So along with restaurants reopening, I hope that everyone's thinking about how they're going to bounce back in their business planning. I started a Facebook closed group yesterday, started last night, and we're already gaining a lot of momentum. These are people that already work with me, whether they're loan officers, whether they're realtors, developers, escrow officers, really to get together each day with motivation, inspirational stuff, business development. But I want it to be a community of people that are discussing what they're truly seeing boots on the ground when it comes to our real estate market. Not just the noise that comes off of whether it's the local or national news. I'd really like to listen to the people that are out there selling homes, doing loans, and seeing what's coming through our escrow offices. So please put me to work if you're interested. Please make a note down below and we'll have a conversation about what we're doing. But I'm really looking for everyone who joins to participate. It's going to be a really nice community, a collection, a collaboration of people trying to make the community a better place and sharing good quality information. And so with that being said, one of my trusted business partners is Chris Papaccio with eMortgage. I've worked with him for years. He is very well known in the Valley for his business development classes that we typically do each September. Again, here we are in May. We're talking about business development. I listened to Anthony Robbins today for about 45 minutes, and he talked about business development, and what he recommends is actually what we're being pushed toward is to relook at our goals, our written goals twice a year, and not block out the idea of goals is trivial, because written goals that you're looking at, but also looking at your why. Why is that goal in place? So Chris, can you tell us a little bit about yourself as well as give us your licensing number?
Sure. So Chris Papaccio, I'm with eMortgage Management. I'm the branch manager here in Gilbert. My NMLS number is 336676. I'll show my business card at the end so you guys have that on file. Just to back up some of the stuff that Carrie just said, I'm really excited to be here. I've known Carrie for years. A quick shout out to all the moms. I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day and found, some time to spend in this, as we're modifying out of COVID. I hope someone at least got to hug their mom on Mother's Day because it's a good thing to do. To what Carrie was saying, in terms of business planning, we usually do this class and talk to a room full of realtors, at least once a year. With this kind of pivot situation we're in now, where everyone's been on a little bit of a hiatus or break, we've been really talking and trying to figure out a way to motivate, re-energize, refocus all our teams that we work with to kind of get them back on track. And I'd be honest, I actually had a really busy Saturday. I got a lot of phone calls from people that were, already pre-qualified and working with realtors, and a lot of people were out shopping. So from what I'm seeing, we're hitting the ground running here with the market, and there's going to be, a lot of opportunities. And I think we just, as a community, like on your page, really just need to kind of refocus. Some people need to, don't putting fingers on anyone, but there's people that kind of put their head in the sand and kind of ignore what was going on. And if this is your profession and stuff, I'm a big proponent of understanding what your numbers are, how to meet those numbers and set goals. There's tons of studies out there besides the, Tony Robinson that you mentioned. There's Harvard studies, there's Yale studies, Stanford studies that talk about, when you write down a goal, some people write it down, and even life goals, business planning goals, you write them down, it actually cements something in your mind. It does something to you that you force yourself to get to that point just mentally by writing it down.
One of the things that Tony was talking about in the video, and I'll post this inside of the group today, was writing down things that you want to change, because life is full of decisions, and put down something, whether it's personal, professional, maybe it's whether it's the volume of business that you're doing, or maybe your weight, or any kind of your appearance, or your family, your relationships. But put down something that you would like to change and put it in action, because again, just like your goals that, for business and whatnot for volume, put down something that you really want to make a difference in and start making decisions that surround getting that cleared. But we're going to keep this very short each time going forward, kind of try to stay to 15 minutes or less. But we talked about discussing organizational skills and time blocking.
Yes.
And the importance of it, because if you don't put it down on your calendar, it's not going to happen. So
correct.
You talk a little bit about that.
Definitely. So in my world, in my family life and business life, if it doesn't exist in my calendar, it honestly doesn't exist. And it's just, we all lead very busy lives between work, family, kids, whatever it is. And I really am a big proponent of time blocking for appointments that you have in terms of calls or meetings with clients, time blocking for time you're going to go out and do physical marketing if you're going to go out physical marketing, but also you want to time block for personal space. So if you're you're first thing in the morning, I always make sure I'm revisiting or planning my day out. So I'll block, my morning block is maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, just to have that quiet time to block what I see or what I need to get done in the day. You could be time blocking for your own physical, mental health, or, if you go to the gym or you want to do yoga or meditate. All of us usually have something on the nightstand that we're reading as a book to keep informed. Time block for that time. It doesn't need to be on the nightstand at night. It could be, you're at lunch and then you've got, before you re-enter your day after you have lunch, you time block, 15 minutes, and whatever you can read in that 15 minutes, that kind of eases you back into your afternoon. So, I've seen people's calendars from 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night when they go to bed. They've got every minute kind of planned out. And it doesn't need to be that you're that structured or that type A of a personality that people would say that it has to be fixed in stone. But if you have it on there, you're going to be less incentivized you'll be more incentivized to get it accomplished and less incentivized to move stuff around.
Let me get your opinion on something. So is there a better time of the day that you would suggest for prospecting? Because I have a business coach as well, and he talks about the splitting up the time of working with your current customers versus prospecting. There's lots of tools that I'm going to be bringing into my business very shortly. And again, that Arizona Title Gal closed group is one of them.
Okay.
But what do you recommend for prospecting versus current customers?
The way I always look at prospecting in terms of, and just marketing, you put your name out there, is I think it's a very individualized piece of this, because there's a lot of people that I'm a high energy person in the morning, and I know my energy, and I mean, if we did this call in the afternoon, I would kind of have to push myself to be kind of energetic about it. Just because I've had the whole day waiting on me and I've processed it. Other people I know and I've worked with, they peak in the afternoon. They're slow to start in the morning and they peak. So I think it's kind of understanding yourself. But I would also say that I look at the prospecting piece as almost a two-pronged approach. Kind of what you're saying is, I'll sit down and make a whole bunch of calls because have that time in the morning and I'm kind of mentally aware of that. And I'll make a whole bunch of calls or emails and all that in the morning, probably anticipating that I'm not going to get that many people on the phone, but I'm getting the follow-ups in the afternoon. So I almost have my outbound going out in the morning, and then I have time block in the afternoon or in the evening, early evenings, when people are normally coming back to work, coming off of work, going back to work, or realtors are coming back from showings, that I know I'm going to receive those calls. With this whole COVID thing, it's been completely different, because you make a call in the morning, you're getting someone on the phone. So,
well, and I was talking to one of my escrow officers last week about her day. And she's telling me something very similar, that she starts her day at the normal time, but many of our realtor partners are starting later. And so her day is going now longer into the evening just because of the change in how we are living our lives right now. So yeah, I mean, another thing I have down here is distractions. Now, one of the things that has been a big distraction in my world is the amount of activity that's gone on in my house versus when I work in one of our branches. It's different. I have an engineering company down at the other end of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I have three four-legged fur babies that I'm actually surprised have not gone off. But all these different things that are impacting how we typically do our jobs and run our business have impacted our world. So minimizing distractions and being able to have something written out in the calendar. I mentioned, and we did this before we were talking on Facebook this morning, we talked about journaling.
Yes.
And also marrying that with something that is like inside of your Outlook calendar and how they can go together, and how I've gone back to journaling, and I think you have too, that I keep a journal next to me constantly where it's everything is dated and I can monitor everything, kind of like the old fashioned Franklin, only I'm not that regimented. So, but it's helped to write my thoughts down. What do you say to that?
No, I mean, absolutely. Because I know when we talked initially, you were talking about, you know, the digital aspect of having a calendar. I mean, a lot of us are online now, you know, Outlook or Google calendars for all that. But I mean, I've got a pad of paper and a pen sitting right next to my desk all day long. And, you know, that's where I kind of plan out my day, like I said, in the morning. And then I'll look, you know, I'm a big list guy. So I start my list. I like to see things cross off of my list. And then at the end of the day, before I power off everything, you know, I'm going revisiting that list to start building what I'm going to look at for the next day. But on top of that too, you know, it's like you said, it's like a running journal of, you know, an incoming call, or someone called, they want to change a loan amount, or they're referring someone to me, or here's a quick phone number, or if I have to jot down a number that's something. I mean, you know, in your and I's business, we have to hold a lot of numbers, names, and dates and all that stuff in our heads. And I've learned over time, it just doesn't, it goes in this side and comes out the other one. So to have that piece of paper written down, I've got it written down. It's easy for me to remember. It's easy for me to reference. And it just saves me a lot of stress, and I have something to go back to. So if I have a follow-up conversation with someone a couple of weeks later, you know, we discussed, you know, a rate up at the beginning of things, but we made changes. You know, I've got all those notes in one place so that I can go back and be like, to explain where, you know, where we began and where we ended.
So really what we're talking about today is just one part of the business plan that you and I typically put in front of the real estate community. And we're kind of just walking through that book in snippets each week.
Correct.
And really seeing no end to us talking about it on Monday mornings to get going. Because what's better than to launch your Monday, launch your week?
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, I think the encouraging that you and I wanted to at least highlight was, everyone we talk to that does a business plan, most people try to do something at the end of the year. You know, we're, you know, not even 6 months in. You should be revisiting it twice a year anyways, but now having had a little bit of potential downtime for people that haven't been uber active, or even if you've been active, revisit what's working and what's not working. We're definitely in an environment that's changed. We're in an environment that it's kind of an adaptation, kind of adapt or die. We've talked about that before, that, you know, as much as we all hope we're going to go back in time, it's going to be exactly how we left off. I'm a big believer that things are, you know, we're going to come back and come back stronger, but the things that are working now are going to follow with us. You know, the video online open houses, being able to do Zoom or live calls with clients that are remote or looking to relocate. There's going to be a whole bunch of different things that we've not been comfortable with, that we've forced to be comfortable with now, that are going to be, you know, with us to go forward. And
well,
we just need to accept
20,
it.
21 days, we create a habit, and we're past 21 days.
Yep.
So the habits are now there in our, I really don't like the new normal terminology. I got to come up with something else, but we started using the word pivot when Tom Ferry started using it about 2 months ago about pivoting. I like that term, and now it's becoming even more mainstream. You're hearing it on the news, you're hearing it on different advertisements for product. we are learning to pivot. And what's scary is those people who make the decision to not pivot might be putting themselves out of business, unfortunately, because it is a new way of doing business. And you and I talked, I've had to learn all kinds of technology, adopt the Facebook Live, adopt the new group. And everything that I'm doing is something that I am willing to share with realtors anywhere in Arizona that would want to work with me. Put me to work. I always say that. And I think the same thing goes for you, Chris, is, you know, you work all over the state of Arizona like myself, and we want to help make this industry better as we come out of it with pivoting and doing the business plan. And so inside of the group, again, Arizona Title Gal, you can find it. You can try to get in, and I'll let you in. If you are working with another salesperson at Pioneer, I really would suggest you contact that person. But for those people that already work with me or would like to work with me, you're more than welcome to come in. And this is going to be kind of a roundabout coaching, everybody helping one another type of feel good type of group. And feel free to post your different your listings and post different programs that are out there for lending. I know that non-QM came back now, Chris.
Correct. Yep.
And forever you have been a big non-QM guy. Can you explain non-QM real quickly before we leave today?
Sure. Real quick.
What is non-QM?
So non-QM is anything, basically it doesn't fall into what we consider a qualified mortgage or a loan that would be insured by Fannie or Freddie. So prior to all this, there was a boatload of new products that had re-entered the market. I mean, in terms of, you know, a lot of it was focused on self-employed borrowers, people that didn't show a lot of income on their tax returns. So you could do generate income based on bank statements, asset reserves. They even brought back, you know, they were calling it a 1 month bank statement, but it was basically like a stated income thing that we had way back when. And some of those are starting to ease back into the market, not the full product list. They've come back and they are not exactly, you know, nothing came back exactly the way it was because we're still pretty stringent on stuff. You know, the credit score is a little bit higher, the loan to values are a little bit lower. And they are scrutinizing, you know, if it's bank statements, they're scrutinizing deposits a little bit, you know, harder than they were. But, you know, these unemployed borrowers, and we do have a large population of business owners in the state of Arizona. These programs really help a lot of those people, you know, obtain a house, whereas normally they'd be sitting on the sidelines or renting potentially for long periods of time.
So when these programs are coming back into the marketplace, isn't that a sign that there's more
Liquidity?
confidence?
Yeah.
There's confidence coming back in.
Yes.
And I heard that the iBuyers are starting to come back into Arizona. You know, they all pulled out, and for the most part, and then as they now come back into the Phoenix market, what I'm hearing from the realtors around me is that shows a great deal of confidence in real estate in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And I'm guessing that is the same case for the Tucson market, as well as others in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't have the exact number. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I think I sent you a link to an article I had found last week. I can't pull it up. I was looking for it real quick when you're talking.
I think it was the National Real Estate Post did something on that.
No, but there was no, I thought there, I can't remember what, but it was talking about in terms of appreciation. Southwest and the Phoenix market was specifically rated as one of the top in the country that's still having positive appreciation in home values.
Could you do me a favor, Chris, later today, find that, if you could find that,
yeah,
post that inside of my closed group, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay.
But we won't take up any more of your time today.
Okay.
Again, I'm Carrie Sparks, Pioneer Title, your Arizona Title gal. Super excited as we go back out of our COVID-19 shelter in place, safe and healthy. I'm ready to get out there and see my customers again. But if you prefer that we meet on Zoom, I'm here. If you'd like to join the Arizona Title Gal closed group, just let me know. Call me or email me, text me, or of course you can message me on Facebook. But always looking to provide high quality value to the people who choose to work with me. And I'm very gracious to you. I'm just thank you for all the support through this pandemic. It is it's notable. And we are so grateful for your support in choosing Pioneer Title and working with the teams that I support. I really appreciate it. So Chris, you can always be gotten a hold of. What's your phone number?
Yep. 480-227-1083. That's my cell I use for everything. You can text me or call me there. And then just for compliance, I just want to put up my card so everyone has it, has my MLS number and everything on there. So I'm legal.
Legal. You need to put a picture of that below this.
I will. I'll post it in there once you get it up.
As well. So I'm always looking to build business, just like we've talked about here with our realtors building business. I'm looking to build business and provide value as is Chris. So
we're always looking for new topics to talk about. So if someone has a comment and wants us to talk something specific about business development, let us know what you have an interest in, please.
All right. Sounds good. So everybody have a beautiful day and a wonderful week. And again, to all the moms out there, I hope you had a great Mother's Day yesterday, and the fur baby moms too. There's
there you go.
Baby going off. So, all right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.